Hey everyone, what's going on? Nick here. In this video, I want to start looking at actually taking designs and putting them on the products, get a little bit more into a few things actually. One, I'm going to look at taking a design that I have right here that I found that I'm going to buy right now. And putting it on some designs across different products here in the apps that I'm using. We'll look a little bit at using Photoshop as well to kind of transform or edit some of these images. And then we're also going to look at some of these other places as well that I use to grab images. So this video is going to be very impromptu, just kind of a look at some of the process of doing all of this. And for people who are new or people who aren't familiar with design or how custom merchandise works, I think this will be really valuable. I don't see too many people out there include this kind of stuff in the courses that I've seen. Mostly when it comes to design, most of these people are just like, oh yeah, go outsource it, because I guess that's all they know how to do. So I want to show you a little bit more. Like, yes, obviously, when we build a brand, the goal is to get to a point where we're outsourcing, right? Where we're just basically the CEO, we're the founder, the owner, we're directing and running the company, and we're able to outsource stuff. But I'm going to tell you right from the start that one of the biggest advantages I've had that separated me from the pack and has allowed me to get to where I'm at is my ability to not have to rely on people for good design. All right, there are so many situations in business, not just custom merchandise, right? There are so many situations in building your own business. I don't care if it's online or offline, where you need graphics, you need whether that's just typography or it's actual images, or you need graphics for your Facebook page, or you need it for your emails, or you need it for your website, you need it for your store, you need to create some type of flyer, you need to get a business card done, you have shirt designs you want to put out there, you have a logo. Like a lot of this stuff, like logos are mostly going to be outsourced usually because that's a professional service. Getting designs is something we're looking at outsourcing because you can buy them, but having a basic understanding of design and Photoshop is such an advantageous skill. It's so easy to do. Photoshop is $10 a month. All right. Like, that is a very affordable business expense, especially, considering a lot of apps cost more than $10 a month on Shopify. And then there's also something called Affinity Designer, which is a one-time fee of $50. And you download it, and it's very similar to Photoshop. They got some really cool functions and features that are a little bit different. Somebody told me about this. I haven't used it, but here's the point: we don't have to be like this. Like, you don't have to get to this type of skill level. That's the stuff that you outsource when you need some type of crazy design like this created, or graphic illustration. But I'm talking about just being able to do the basic stuff and not get all hung up and frozen and be like, oh my god, my picture isn't the right size, what do I do? Like, you need to be able to handle this stuff. It's so easy, and it's a really, $10 a month is a very affordable business cost. So I suggest everybody get Photoshop. I don't see why you wouldn't have it unless you're already running an organization where you're making, tens of thousands of dollars a month, and you have a full-time designer on board and you never even need to touch Photoshop. So, okay, now my piece being said, let's move on. All right. Let's purchase this design. I'm going to pause the video really quickly because I'm not going to show you guys all of my... Okay, so design completed. We're going to download, and we're going to take this image now and put it on a thing. Now, the idea when you get these is that you can now just come straight over to your app, whatever you're using. Let's look at TeamLaunch. And you can just take that image and put it right on the shirt from there. So that's the idea. That's how it's supposed to work. Okay, so we'll come here. We'll come to apparel. I'm going to use the women's tri-blend t-shirt. I'll probably make a racerback as well. Start designing. All right, now it tells you pixel or image must be 2400 pixels wide. So that's our format. Come to downloads here, and then let's find the shirt, Mom Boss. Okay, so there you go. That's how easy it is to take something from Ecom Empire, or I'm sorry, from Ecom Library, and get it uploaded. Now it's right there and it's ready to go. I'll pick out the colors I think it looks good on. I think it looks good on all of these colors. People can choose which one they like. And now we got this Mom Boss shirt. who my target market for this, by the way, is going to be moms who are entrepreneurs. Work at home moms, work at home parents. So for this, and then we'll do $21.95. Publish to store. So that's how easy it is. Now, I've heard some people say sometimes the image is not the right size, and T-Launch will say, you know, you got to resize it. Well, if that's the case, then here's what you need to do. You need to come in here, and whatever the size is of whatever the image size is supposed to be that T-Launch tells you, or whatever fulfillment service you're using, they'll always tell you what the image size needs to be. You would just need to resize and create an image of that. So it needs to be 2400 pixels wide, so I make it 2400 pixels wide, and then usually I start as a square. Okay, so then I would do that. Now there's something in Photoshop called Place Embedded, which is where I'll go find the image that I had and I'll place it right on here. Okay, and it'll bring it in at a smaller size, but it's a vector image, so all I have to do is stretch it. Okay, now you want to keep the proportions the same. This was a square, so it's really easy. I'm keeping it as a square, but if it was different, then I could, you know, do something different here. Now, if I turn my background off, you can see this is a layer on top of the background, and then there it is. So that is the image completed. Very simple, and then I would just have to save it. And when you save it, you want to save it as a PNG file because that saves it as a transparent background. All right, so that's the basics of, you know, if I needed to resize an image. It's really that easy. You just bring it in and you stretch it to the size that it needs to be. So now that this product is created, let's say that I wanted to create another product. Well, first let me actually finish out the description here. Okay, so now that's done, and that's what that looks like. Now, if I wanted to take this same thing and put it on multiple products, I could, right? I mean, it's so easy. Why wouldn't I do that? So I'll just come right back to apps, and then I'll come down here to T-Launch. I mean, and you can be using any fulfillment app that you want. I just use T-Launch a lot because I like them. I like their interface. I think it's simple. I think their quality is good. I think their prices are fair on most of their items, and so I use it a lot. So for this, I'm already thinking coffee mug, thinking the black coffee mug that they have here. Now, generally, like the print area is smaller here for this, but generally the same image should work because it'll just resize it to fit the smaller size, right? So all I have to do is load that same image, perfect, as a square as is, no reason to do anything to that. So this is just showing you how easy it can be to come in here and take these images from Ecom Library that you're getting and then just turn them into shirts or turn them into products. Mom Boss mug, $9.95. I'll pause this while I get this loaded in the description. Okay, so you can see now the black mug all completed. And then let's just do one more. And you know, I'm just showing you how quickly you can find a design, put it across multiple products, and have your own little collection. I mean, just one design you can put across multiple products. So another one that we could use, we could come in here to Home Goods. No, Home Goods isn't what I was looking for. Accessories. And we could come to Tote Bag. And we can put the Mom Boss right on there. Right? And then we could change the background color to like a dark gray. Right, so now we have this dark gray tote bag Mom Boss. So that's something that you can do. You can set the background color to be whatever you want it to be when it comes to these tote bags and stuff. Image is large enough to print, ready to go. Dark gray we'll call this, it's not really black. dark gray taupe, review and publish. And then you just keep using the same title and adding the thing at the end. I'd probably do this for 1995. So same thing here, we're going to publish this. Okay, we put that on the tote, and now let's look at one more product idea. Actually, give me a second here to look. I like the necklace too. Let's see. The background of the necklace is white, but we can fix that. We just put this right in here. We see where the safe zone is. Now let's do a like a dark gray color. I think that looks cool. Okay, so we have that. Necklace nickel. There we go. Review and publish design. Okay, so now we have that on this necklace, and now I'm also going to put it on one more thing, I think. I also think that it makes a good canvas idea as well. Now I want to show you actually for the canvas. Let's look at for the canvas. You know what? I have two more ideas actually. I want to show you another idea. So number one, for the Printify. Before I go to the canvas, let's do Printify. I have an idea for something with this that I think is cool. Go to stationery, and I'm going to go to the journal, the blank journal. And I'm actually going to use their stretched canvas wrap here too. There's a canvas wrap for Printify. Viral Style also has one, but I think I really like the box stretch canvas. This is canvas with frame. This is it without. So okay, so we got a couple things here. So I'm going to do the journal. The journals are cool because you can just do, it's very, very simple. Okay, so we select this, and then we just have to resize it. Okay, and then of course we have to change our background color again to something dark. On this one, let's do an all black journal. Okay, save and continue. Sometimes it disappears like that. I don't know why. Let's go back one to the designer and try uploading that design again. Okay, so there it is. I like it. Okay, save and continue. Now, okay, let's try this one more time. Sometimes these apps can be a little buggy. Okay, background black, add design. Now you have to keep in mind for the book binding, so you want it small enough to fit, and it's gonna look a little off center because there's a book binding right there. So then we'll save and continue. It'll give you a mock-up. That looks about perfect, right? That looks really good. Okay, so we're gonna finish out this. I already have a description that I've written for the journal, so for now I'll just put in the title, Mom Boss Journal. Continue. Pricing on these is tough, man. I mean, they're kind of it's hard to make money on these journals, I think, because I don't know too many people that are going to pay that much for a journal. So I'm doing $14.95. It's not really a lot of profit, but I'm just doing this right now because I want to get a collection together. What? Okay, I don't know what happened. That was just never published, so let's delete that. Okay, so while that's publishing, let me pull up one of my other journals so I can use the description. This is generally how I go about doing what I do, guys. You know, the first time you have to create the description, of course, but the second time you can just pull off of your descriptions that you already have, right? And you can just, you know, be reusing them. Okay, Mom Boss Journal. So now we can come back and find that. Okay, there it is. So you see right here, just out of this design, I'm building like my own little collection of stuff here. Sometimes, you know, like for now I'm just going to keep this simple. Right, so good enough for now. And then we'll save. Oh, let me hold on. Add it into the stuff. Journals. Okay, I have two more. So let me go through here. I don't know why it does that sometimes. It's so annoying. If it ever does that, all you have to do is just add a space in there. Okay, so now we're going back and no, not Viral Style. I'm actually going to use Viral Style has the larger canvas prints, but I'm going to use Printify again for this because I like their square canvas for this item. I think it works really well. Canvases right here. Stretch canvas, start designing. Background on this, let's do something like a dark gray. Perfect. And then add design, already there. Perfect. Maybe a little big, kind of small. There we go. Centered. Save and continue. Get the mock-up of what it looks like. choose the sizes you want to offer it in. I was just thinking 10 by 8. Okay. Continue. Mom Boss stretch. I don't need the word stretch. Mom Boss canvas. They do give you all these sizes, huh? Okay. Okay, so I paused that, and now you can see I just went through real quickly and filled out all my prices. Basically went $10 up on each one, which is about what I think that's reasonable. And then save changes and publish. Same thing here. And then the last thing I guess that we'll do is that racerback tee, and then that's kind of a collection, and I'm gonna call the collection Mom Boss, and I'm gonna actually market this. As I've been recording this video, I decided that it could be a cool way to market this. Call it the Mom Boss collection. Do it as like a carousel ad, and then have all the ads lead right to and then have a collection. So I think this could be kind of cool. And then let's okay, so let's come back here to apps. And then the last thing that we said we're going to do here, racerback. Okay. It's good dark blue. It's good on the light blue. Doesn't look good there. Doesn't. I guess it looks. I don't like the red. Alright, so review and publish designs. Mom Boss Racerback. Charge $19.95 for this. Publish to store. Okay, so that's been published now too. Canvas. Okay, so like that, and then the multiple. I always like to put in here multiple sizes available. Right, we'll tag it with the stuff we've been tagging it with. Okay. And I think that's good for now. So first of all, I mean, that was like a good view of all these different types of products that you can use for just one, for just one design that you have. And then save, tag this as well. X, culture, save. Okay, now what I'm going to do, really quickly, just to finish out this process before we move on, is I'm going to type in the Mom Boss. And now you see that we have all these Mom Boss items that we just created in a matter of 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. Well, yeah, more like 30 minutes if you add in the pauses and everything like that. So we're going to take all of these, and now I'm going to create a new tag, and I'm going to call it Mom Boss. Now, I don't always do this. I'm just showing you the kind of stuff that's possible, trying to get you ideas, trying to show you what you can do with your store and what you can do with just one design. This is a really simple design too. And I know the Mom Boss design is out there in the open market. It's not like it hasn't been done, but that doesn't mean that it's, it's not something that can really, really do well. And we're just going through and tagging everything with this new tag, so they'll all be in the Mom Boss collection. And one more. Okay, so now when we refresh this, they should all be in the collection, right? Because the tag is equal to Mom Boss, so there you go. Every item is in that collection. Some of these are still hidden on too many sales channels, so let me fix that really quickly as well. When you add sales channels, this is where you adjust to make sure. I don't have Amazon or Winello set up yet, so I can't do that. Okay. All right, so there we go. There we have it. Now we have a collection, and in a separate video, what I will do, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a Mom Boss collection ad, and it's going to be a carousel ad. It's going to have every single one of these products in it, and then I'm going to have a call card that also leads to the collection page, because now if we go to my store and we go to collections, you can see here's the Mom Boss collection, right? So we can go in here and we can view all, and we have this whole collection of really cool Mom Boss products, right? It's a simple design, but it's cool, and I think that it can do well. I guarantee that I can sell a few of these, right? The targeting's not even that difficult. I know the design's on the open market, so I don't know how large it could scale depending on whether or not people have already seen this, but these are some really cool and unique products that I haven't seen, and the design is original too, like the font that's being used there. I know that I don't have that font in my Photoshop stock, so that font is something that I like. I think it looks good. I think it fits really, really well. So I like this collection. And I think that I can market this collection as a whole to female entrepreneurs and work-at-home moms and that type of thing, and we can have some success with some of these products here. Okay, now moving on. to looking at, say, putting together an actual design for like a canvas or something. So if we wanted to go to Viral Style and look at putting together a canvas, like a large size canvas. I talked about this, and I'm going to go through looking at an example. Here's a couple that I did. I just created this Relax, Be Happy canvas, which I think is pretty cool. And I'll show you how I did that. I'm going to walk you through the exact process of what I did. Here's the image, okay? So let me show you first where I got this image, because here's part of what I want to show you is where you can find some of these cool images. So like this here, this Mom Boss, this Come and Take It, and this one, I bought these, not this one, this, and this. These three right here, I got through the Ecom library, okay? This image, this image, this image, this, and these I got through what are called royalty-free design sites, okay? So like if you come to any of these here, I use 123RF a lot. There's Dreamstime, there's Shutterstock, there's several design sources like this where they have royalty-free stock photos that you can use, and you can come in here and you can just look for stuff. So the other day I came in here and I was looking for yoga designs because I wanted to find some cool stuff, and look, boom, you can see right here. So I'm basically showing you guys where I got my design, but this is a royalty-free image, okay? When I open this and I pay for this, you get the extended license for the image, and then you can download it and you can use it on whatever you want, right? So you can use these images to resell, and you can come in here and you can download them. They have beautiful images on these sites that you can use. This could be a cool canvas right here, right? This could, or an all over print tee. Like this is actually a pretty cool image here, really well done. So what I did, now I don't always necessarily want to use it just the way that they have it. So let's show you some basic, like what I was doing when I did this. So first I had to find the image size for what I need to create. So when I came into Viral Style and I was looking at these large canvas prints that they offer for people to be able to get, the first thing I needed to do was get the template. That's the word I was looking for earlier. I needed to get the template. Viral Style has templates you can download for all their products. So I wanted to do a portrait here, so I selected this. You can see if you need a design template, you can come here to download it. So I already did that. So here's what the template looks like. What you would do is if you were doing this on your own, you would come in here and then you would find your template. For me, let's see, where is it? Right here, Canvas Portrait. Okay, and so now it's opened, right? So here's what I did. Here's how I started out doing this. First, I came in and I placed my image. All right, it's small, but it's a large vector size, so I know I can resize this. And when you look at your, before I resize it, I want to show you, when you look at this template, you see it gives you the safe area, the canvas, and the side area wrap. So basically anything that's within this blue box is safe, because this is where the corners are going to be, where it's going to wrap around the side. And then anything within this lighter green area you can see right here is for the text safe area. So when we do this, we want to stretch our image to fit but not go like larger than it needs to be, right? So we come here and we can stretch it to be like, say this for example. And then you'll see it'll automatically resize itself. And then a good test, if you want to make sure that the image is still clear, is you zoom in and look what it looks like at 100%. You can see up here that it shows me the percentage of where I'm at. So when I'm at 100%, you can see that there's maybe a little bit of deprecation in here, but not on the lines. Like the lines are still very clear, so you're good. All right, let's zoom out and get back. So now what I was looking at when I saw this is I was like, well, I really like the design, but I don't like the color. I don't really like, so I wanted to do a little bit more with this. So then what I started looking at is I use Google Images a lot as well. I came over to, I wanted to think of, okay, so what makes a good yoga type of background that I can use for this? So I was looking in Google, and I came over and I was just like, all right, well, I guess let's try to find yoga background. And I go to Google Images. So I use Google Images all the time. And then I was just looking around at some stuff and trying to find something that I liked. And eventually, I don't know if I'll find it because I don't know what my exact keyword was. And I did a lot, I did a lot of looking around. But eventually what I found was something like this. Right here. I found this I love yoga picture. And I said, okay, I really like that gradient background. So now what you can do is you can create a layer for your background. So I'm going to come in here and I created a new layer from the function up top here. And so I have a layer here, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by filling it with white. Okay, so I have my basic full white background now. You have layer options you can do. So if you come up here, you can come down to layer style, and you can do a gradient overlay. Okay, so this is one of the things that you can do as an option for your layer styles. Another way you can get to that is just by double clicking on the layer. Okay, so I come here and I look at the gradient overlay, because that's what this is called. This is called a gradient when you want to go from one color to another. You can see it already shows up, the last one that I did, but I'll show you the way I created this. Basically I chose just any basic two-tone gradient that's in here. Like say any of these you could do, and then you change the color. So I come here and then I just changed the color to the top of this little yoga image, and it pulled that color out. And then I changed the back color to the bottom of this little yoga image, and it pulled that color out, and then that's how I got my gradient background. Alright? And I pulled that by using this as an example, that little image, and now I don't need it anymore because I was able to duplicate that background, right? Now I'm still not quite there yet, because now I have one image placed on top of another, and that really doesn't look like anything. So what I want to do here, there's multiple ways you could go about doing this, but what I want to do is I'm not going to try to separate this from the background, because if I just do something like that and I try to delete the background, you're going to see that there's like these little areas of white that are still going to be caught. It's not going to be like a perfect, even if I come through here and I select all these areas and delete them, when I zoom in, you'll see that there's like these just little white areas that you can't necessarily always get. So another way that you can do it is just playing with the layer style. So if I put that back, now you'll see here that you have these options for your layer style up here as well. And so what I did is something like this. I just changed it to find something that I thought worked. Like there's a lot of ways you can see by messing with the layer that you can create like this cool overlay effect. So some of them will completely remove the background like that, and you can have it like that. What I ended up doing, I believe, is I did this as a darker orange color like that, and then I think I removed the background. Let me see, what did I do when I did mine? Yeah, that's what I did. So there you go. I did that, and then I just deleted the background like that. but I don't know that I want overlay. Let's probably something like this, like vivid light. Yeah. And so now I have that image, okay? And basically just by taking the image that I had, doing a few simple tips and tricks, I was able to change it around. And now I can look at, I can put this opacity down just to make sure that it fits correctly, make sure it's centered. It looks like it could be centered a little better, so I'll move this over, make sure it's centered where it needs to be. And then I can put the opacity back up. And now I'm ready. Now I know that my image is designed the way it needs to be for print. So I would save this as a JPEG file. And then I would come in here and upload the image. Right here. And there you have it. So now I have my image created. It sizes it correctly where the canvas wrap is supposed to be, so you don't see that extra stuff like you do in here. That you see the extra stuff in here, but on the actual mock-up you don't, because it's showing you where the edges of the canvas will be. And that came out really cool looking, I think. So it looks good. I like it. And then you would go through the process of just adding it in. I already did that, so I'm not going to do it for this one, but you would go to next. You would set your prices for each size, and then you would go through and put your description in, and then you would launch it. Okay, so that's how it works with putting together like a basic canvas. Now, if you want it, when you're ready to create a mock-up for this, you need to be able to get mock-ups for canvas prints. So Viral Style gives a few on their website. Where is it? Here it is. Canvas Mockups. Viral Style gives a few of them. So this is a portrait. So you would just find a portrait photo that matches or the mock-up that you want to use. Like if you wanted to use that, or if I wanted to use this, say, you see where it says replace this now. So what you would do is you can turn that off, and then you can place your image right on top of it. So like my Be Happy Yoga canvas, this is the one that I actually did create and turn into a design. I placed this on top of it. Right? And then there's something called a clipping mask. So I'll put this right on top of that. And then you see here, create clipping mask. You do that. Now it didn't do anything yet. So what I need to do is open this up and find where the image is that I'm trying to overlay, which is this right here. So I'll pull this in, and right on top of that, create clipping mask, and then boom, you see it wraps it right to the image underneath it. And then I can save this, and now I have a mock-up of what that canvas would look like. Another way to do it, which is what I actually did in this scenario, you can do this multiple ways, is you can come here and you can just try to type in something like canvas mock-up. Now a lot of them are going to have like waterproof marks on it all over, okay? And I don't necessarily advise stealing images when it comes to like what you're reselling, but when it comes to images I'm just using for editorial purposes, I take images off Google all the time. So, you know, I don't really care what anybody's opinion is about that. Everybody does it. It's an easy way. So you could come in here and you could grab something like this, and you see what they're doing. Now, I don't want the frame, but what I can do is I can use this overall image if I wanted to as a mock-up. So I would come in here. These are all actually decent. So this is pretty cool. This one's a little bit more close up. Let's just use something simple like this. So you would save the image, then you would come into Photoshop. You would start a new, like now this is our mock-up. This is what we want for our ad. So I want it to be a square because this is where I do the 1,000 by 1,000 for Facebook advertisements. Now I would place that image that I just downloaded right on there, right here. Turn it into a square by stretching it. Keep it, always want to keep it proportional, of course. Alright, so there you go. Now, that's obviously not what we're doing, so what I would come do now is I would have to download my actual, I'd have to get my mock-up, right? So I would have to, after I uploaded that product and it was done, I would come in here. Alright, this one's not a good example because I already uploaded the image. But you can see, actually I'll show you how I made that. I'll show you how I made that one right there. Alright, so I had this image that I found on Google right here. Okay, this was the image that I found on Google. This was the mock-up. I liked it. I thought it went with the theme of what I was doing. So then what I did is I downloaded my mock-up canvas, which looks like this. So when you first design your canvas, they're not going to give you a mock-up, so you'll have something that looks like this. That is your actual canvas mock-up. No, that's not what I meant. Not that one. Like this. No, not that one either. Let me try a different example. I have so many files, guys. I just need to find one that I haven't already completed. So let me go to like a different canvas because I know there's some of them I didn't complete yet. We'll just use a different example. Okay, like the Be Right Once canvas. Let's use this. So this is the mock-up I created, but before I created this, you can see that this is what they created. This is the image they created, which is just a standalone mock-up, but it is a mock-up because they put the shadows in so it looks like an actual canvas. So I'll save that image. And then I'll place that right on top here. Right here. No, hold on. Okay, so you'll erase the edges and then stretch it to fit. Okay, and then what you'll do is like right here, I just erased that out to make it look like it was behind, you know, like, hold on, opacity. So I just did that to me, and then there you go. Like, you guys saw what I just did, but so you may be looking at it now, looking at it like, I think I can kind of tell that that wasn't there before. But if I come through and I do this, if I save this, hold on, no, untitled 4. If I come through and I save this, and then I add that image right here now, and now I look at this online. Looks great. You can't even tell. I mean, you know, like the very trained eye might look at it and stare at it and say, oh, I might see a little thing here or there. But if you're just glancing at that, the average person is going to look at that and they're not even going to be able to tell. And so you just saw how in Photoshop you can create a very simple mock-up simply by going and finding images that already have like the area that you need and then over, you know, just placing your image right on top of that. So as another example, let's look at as another example of this, let's go back to this one and say we were doing the yoga one. That's not the right one. Sorry, I keep grabbing the wrong one. Here it is. Right? Is that it? No. No, I'm trying to find the mock-up. Hold on. I have so many versions. Here it is. Okay. All right. So same thing here. You want to rasterize the layer so that you can edit it. Remove the background that we don't need, and now we stretch it out. Control T to transform, and we're going to make it to be the same size as what we're replacing. All right, sometimes if you want to get like that lean back effect, like with Photoshop, you can do a skew, which will make it, you see how I just did that where it tilts it back just a little bit, and then is going to make it look like it's leaning up against the wall. Now this one's a little bit more unclean on the edges. I could come through and mess with this a little bit more, probably, to make it a little bit better. You know, because you can come through and take like the pen tool and make this edge very clean. By simply defining a selection and then going through like that. Guys, I know I'm going through this kind of quickly, but I'm just showing you the things available to do. This stuff is all easy to learn by just going to Photoshop tutorials. And then, so you see how you got that, and now we can add our own drop shadow to it if we want to. Do it on an angle, like the light is coming from here, and a little bit more distance, a little bit more spread, a little bit more size. Right, and so now you can see like that. Again, same thing. It's not necessarily the most perfect, beautiful mock-up in the world, but you could put that online and nobody would know the difference ever. And so you can use this, and that's how you can create very simple mock-ups. All right, now moving into another part of what I want to do is talking about how you can. So that was looking at guys, how you can go here and like to sites like this and just find basic images and use them, you know, transform them into different backgrounds, and make your own stuff out of them. Another one that I did was this one. I took this, and what I ended up doing is I didn't, you know, it had the background, right? But I bought this image and I wanted to use it. So I came in here and I used the selection tool, or the wand tool. All right, see, that's this tool here, the magic wand. And then you can select shapes like that. You can cut them and then paste them right back as a separate layer. So that's what I just did there. I cut that and then pasted it right back as a separate layer. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing here. I can come in here and I can select everything inside this cat. Now the selection tool, the wand tool, works by selecting areas that are all like one solid area. So sometimes what you have to do, you can see like when I did that, it selected everything that was that one yellow color. But to actually come through here and get the whole thing, I have to click on like every single color and make sure I have every section selected. So it just takes a minute, but very easy to do, to get everything selected. Basically what I'm doing, if you can't tell, is I'm just clicking inside all of the predefined areas to make sure I have the whole thing selected from everywhere. All right, so now I do. So now I can cut that whole image out and again paste it right back on. All right. Now here's a little trick. Because if we zoom, and then I got rid of the background. So you see I got rid of the background, and so the point of that was now I have a transparent background image that I can use this for. Now here's a trick as well. Sometimes when you do that, the lines won't always be perfectly clean on. So I'm at 100% right now, and you can see the lines are clean, but not necessarily as perfect as it could be. So here's what I do sometimes is I'll take this now, and I'll add like a stroke to it, it's called, which is like an outside line. So I just add like a white outside line. It doesn't need to be thick, and just do a 2. And that'll just give it a little bit of a border. Since this is already you can't do this with every type of image, but this is already a very artistic art type of image. So what I can do is use that, and now I can get rid of this background layer. I can create a new layer. That way I can see what it looks like against the dark background. All right, and now I see. So that's what we have there. Maybe make this like a 4. Okay, yep, 4 seems to do it. So when I make it with 4, I think it looks really good, right? And now I can stretch the image to fit the full square. Stretch the yoga part to fit the full square. And there you have it. Now you have an image. You save it as a PNG file. You get rid of the background, and now you have something that the final product was the yoga cat. So you can see that's the final product, and it came out really cool. So that's how I created an image like that, by just going to, royalty-free places where you can get the images. Sometimes they make you pay a little bit extra if you plan on reselling it. But basically how these sites work is you upload credits, and then each image has credits assigned to it. So it's usually like $1 as a credit, and then based on the amount of credits you have, you just keep uploading credits, and you can download images, and you can find all kinds of stuff. I mean, look at this. There's so many design ideas, and you don't have to use them exactly as they are. You can come in here and get ideas and then turn them into something else with Photoshop by changing them around, using different colors, adding different layers. So that's something that you can do. Very, very, very simple. All right. Last thing, I'll show you how I did the one design for the other canvas. Let me close this, close this, close this, and close this. All right, so again, when we look at the other canvas, the only difference between this, this was a canvas landscape from Viral Style, right? So for that, we were okay, so now we come back in here to decor. You can see they have all kinds of stuff, but we're just going to mess with the canvas landscape because these are also landscape. The reason I'm looking at these products in particular is I'm looking at popular products, and right now canvases are hot. It's an up and coming thing. Canvases have always been great. I mean, obviously it's an evergreen product. People always are going to be buying these for their home, for their office, wherever. But now that there are fulfillment things that we can use with Shopify like this, it's becoming a really hot item to sell because there's so many ways to find really cool designs and put together stuff that specifically matches interest for passionate audiences. So you would get your template here, right? You can download your landscape template, and then you would upload it right in here. and now we're ready to start working. Same thing, it gives you the stretch image. So here's what I did with this, right? So to get the image that I used, again, I believe it was 123 RF, and I came in here and I typed in, man, I don't even remember, maybe success, I don't know, success motivation. I don't know. I was doing some type of search along the lines of success, motivation, something like that, entrepreneur. Like I was somewhere along the lines, and you can see already they've got a bunch of designs. Like look at this design here. And some people may be thinking, well, these designs just look like stock images. I don't know that I could put this on there and sell it. And you're right, as a stock image, I don't know that you could, but you look at something like this, right, Businessman, and then if you come over and look at a site like Sense of Art, these guys, from what it appears, these guys are killing it right now, with the type of art that they're selling, and they have stuff that's just like that. Like right here, you can see this is not even, I mean, look, it's not even that impressive. It's just an image of a businessman. They overlaid it with like some other graphics of a city in the background and a dollar bill, and then they put a text on top of it, and they played with the color layers. Like that's all they're doing here, okay? Yes, it takes some skill involved in being able to understand what looks good, but look at this. I mean, all they did here is they took an image of a businessman, they added some lines into it, and then put a text on it. So here's what I did to show you like how this can work. Same thing here. Same exact thing, and you can see somebody just bought it. All it is an image of some dude on a laptop. You can find that stock image on anything with a city in the background and then just some text over top of it. And they're selling this for $149, right? So like you can do this, okay? And here's an example. So I found an image searching something about success and, whatever. And that was this image here, okay? And then stretch it to fit. It'll resize. Done. All right. Now, as it is right now, didn't really like it. So what I did then is, first thing I did, I believe, is I added some brightness and contrast to it. So a little bit more contrast to make the silhouette darker, and then bright to make the lights in the background darker. Boom. Okay. Now what I did on top of that, then let's take a look because I don't completely remember. I mean, I know what I did, but oh, that's really all I did. I don't think I changed the image too much. So I had my image then, and then basically, so I created a new layer. So the way you always want to work in Photoshop or any designer is you want to work in layers. That way, if you mess something up, you can go back and fix it later. Now, what I needed to do is you need to remember where your bleed lines are, or your wrap lines. So that's here, so I'm good. And then I want to keep my text inside the safe text area. So then I took something like this and I just decided to do like a half of the image, the other half of the image, except I did it from all the way. I wanted it to wrap all the way, so it was like that, like right up to where his cigar is. And then in this new layer here, I added a layer of black, right? Obviously, I'm not going to keep it like that. That looks ridiculous. So then what you do is you take your opacity down to like, almost nothing. And this is a very popular way of being able to overlay text in an image because you put a little bit of that in there. And now when I put my text in here, it's going to look a lot better. So I still need to put my opacity down on the main image so I can see where my text needs to go. And then you're really just choosing a font at that point. So for this, I believe I used, not the Mistral font, I believe I used the Franklin Gothic maybe, and then it was first. Okay. And then I added a couple lines. I'm moving quick here, guys, but I just want to show you like the basics of what you can do here. Obviously it took me longer than this when I first did it because I was playing around and seeing what I liked. But, then I came in here and I just added a couple basic lines in. I think I used yellow and blue. I just took colors from the background, like a bright yellow color like that, to add in here. Center it within my stuff that I'm already doing. Right, now copy that and paste it so that I have two of them. All I did is hit Control Copy and then paste it right back down on the same thing. And then I'm using the arrow key to move it. And then I filled it in with like a different color. Right, so then I filled it in with like, say, a blue. Yeah, like, I don't know, let's find the blue in here. That's not bad. Okay, so then I filled it in with like a blue color and centered that in between the two yellow lines. Okay, so now that's where we're at right now. It's going to look different when it's done, but then I came back with the font here, and then so text font. At first it'll ask why you're doing it, and then I'm back to black. They'll ask, so we did that at the normal font size, and then we did a big how right out, like it was how, all caps. We made this text size a lot bigger, even bigger than that, like that. Maybe not quite so, like more stretched than that. Okay. And then they'll ask how. So centered. Move this up. So that's off the line the same amount. Stretch this a little bit more. And then they'll ask how. And then the last words we got to put in here are you did it. Except too big, right? We got to put this back down to like 100. 150. Okay. Ask how you did. Okay, and then the last thing I did is I changed up these colors a little bit. I made the you did it the same as the blue. Right? And then I stretched this out to be the same size as the how. And I made the how in the same color as the yellow. Right, and then now that that's all done and I can see that it's all fitting within where it needs to fit, I can put the opacity on this back up, right? And now I can start messing with these. I can take the opacity on this down, or what I want to do actually, first of all, this is the blue and yellow, and then this is that first yellow. So I want to merge these together, merge down. And now I actually want to mess with the way that they overlay the background image. That's what I did. So I did something like this. Alright, and I put it on screen. So now you can see you got that really cool effect where you can see the background through, but you can still see the color over top. I believe I did these all in white letters, not black. And then same thing with the how. I did this on like a screen. So it gave it a little bit of a fade. Same thing here. Did this on a screen. It gave it a little bit of a fade. And there you have it. So I saved this image then. Now it was a little bit there. I put a little bit more time into it, obviously, when I did it for real. But we'll call this Untitled 5. Save. Needs to be under 10 megabytes for viral style. So sometimes you need to pull the quality down a little. So we did that. And then when we're back now here in the apps, and we're coming to Viral Style to upload this, decor, canvas landscape, upload image, Untitled 5, and then again it'll upload it and it'll automatically wrap those edges, so you'll get to see it as it should be, as you designed it with within the certain parameters that it gives you in the template. And there you have it. So you can see that just based on some simple effects and learning how to just pull images, you can get the main part of your work done by going to some of these places like Dreamstime, like Shutterstock, like 123RF. Find really good images to build on, and then use your own Photoshop, or have somebody do this for you if you want, to just play around with it a little bit and actually turn it into what you want to do, just like these guys do, just like anybody can do. You can just go find great stock images and then change them. Like that's all that this is here. They found, now I don't know how many images they may have layered together to get this creation, but they clearly had a city background here that they put down, and then maybe they layered this other image of a man on top of it, and then they put text over the top with the same type of thing that I did, where they created a box and put another layer on top to darken it out, and then put text on top of it. And then you can see the texture in the text is probably from doing some type of overlay or screen, or color dodge or something like that. So that's it, guys. I mean, it's really that, I mean, I don't want to say it's simple. It is simple. I'm not going to say it's easy, because it takes some time, some practice, some getting familiar with how it works and how to do it. But it is simple when you're using sources like Ecom Library or like any of these stock image sites to go out there, find great images, find great designs that are already done, and then bring them into your own thing and turn them into something. Be creative, mess with it. So you just saw a lot in this video. We looked at how you can take one simple design straight from Ecom Library and put it across a bunch of products and have like a whole collection built out within half an hour. And then we also looked at how you can start creating mock-ups for some of these different things. And then we took a really good look at canvases and just building canvases themselves, and how you can use Photoshop to find images from other places and put these types of canvases together to sell on your store. So I hope you guys got a lot of value out of this video and watching this and seeing what this is all about and how you can do this yourself. And again, I'm not saying that you can't go outsource it. Sure, go, you can absolutely go outsource it if that's what you want to do. I'm just trying to show you what you can do if if you want to be able to take this in-house and do it yourself and have the skills and the knowledge to be able to move through and build stores out quickly by being able to handle your own images. That's one of the reasons I'm able to build a store out so quickly, is because I can go on a binge just one day and just be creating a bunch of stuff, repurposing designs, and then finding designs that I can use across multiple products and start getting it all uploaded and getting it all built. So that's it. I know that this was one of the longer videos here, so I'm going to end this, but I hope that you got a lot of value out of everything in here, and I hope that it helps you as you go forward and create your own images, your own designs, and build out your own custom merchandise and print on demand stuff. Thank you for watching. Talk to you later.